Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon if you're on the East Coast, good evening if you're elsewhere in the world where it's evening. Welcome to our first fall, though it's not technically fall yet, webinar. It's been a little while. We didn't do many over the summer, so we're excited to be back here. As per usual, we're going to get you started off with a poll. Make sure you're all awake out there. So we just want to know, how familiar are you with Visual BACnet? Some of you may have used it often, some of you might be occasional, casual users, and I know we have a few people on here who've never used it but know about it, or maybe don't even really know what it is. So get your answers in. That will help Dan and I here get a better feel for your knowledge level so that we don't waste our time on things that make no sense to you. We'll focus on the things that are of importance to you. So get those answers in. While you're doing that, I will just remind everyone that this is being recorded. We'll have it available online afterwards for you to watch again and again and again, or for you to pass off to colleagues who might be interested. And as per usual, if you have any questions, throw them in the question box, throw them in the chat box, and we will answer them to the best of our abilities. All right, so we've got some occasional users on here. I like that. And some often users. So thank you to all of our customers and users who are on here. And welcome to people who don't know much about it. You're going to learn a lot about what we've done today and where we're going. So if you have questions throughout this whole process, definitely let us know. All right, so I am joined here today by Dan Ronald. He's our VP Product here at Optigo. Welcome, Dan.
Thanks, Monica.
Thanks for joining us on the webinar. So we're going to start off. I'm going to dominate the beginning of this webinar, and then Dan will take over. I'm going to walk you through some of the things that we've done in the last year. As you know, hopefully, this week is Visual BACnet's first birthday, so we're officially out of infancy into being a baby, but almost toddler. I'm not really sure what that stage is called. But we've got lots of users. As you could tell, a lot of you are on the call, and so we're going to run you through where we've come from in the last year and how we've built that out. And then Dan's going to focus on the future of Visual BACnet, what you can expect from us in the next 6 months, year, maybe even longer than that. Sound good, Dan?
Sounds great.
All right. Next slide. So where did we come from? As some of you may or may not know, we are a networking company, and we actually started with Optigo Connect, which is a hardware line, pictured here. So we have all kinds of networking gear, switches, passive optical splitters, that are all aimed at making networking easier, more user-friendly, and more efficient and safe and secure for this industry, for the building automation space. So there's tons of options out there in the IT world. There's nothing that was built around you guys, built around our friends in this building automation space. So we've been deploying this all over the world for quite a few years now, and through that deployment, Darren and a few of the other people here at Optigo kept seeing people clicking through Wireshark. So for those of you who are familiar with Wireshark, it's not the most fun and user-friendly tool in the world. It can be very confusing, and as I understand it, Darren and Ping and a few of the other people that are in charge of product development here basically sat there going, wait, what? You go line by line through Wireshark? That's how you troubleshoot your systems? That's crazy. And as people with IT backgrounds in the IT world, there are some other tools that you can use to analyze networks and diagnose networks. But we don't have anything in this industry. And so they set out to solve that. And so about over a year ago, a year and a half ago, we ended up with our first prototype of Visual BACnet. This is what it looked like, a little bit different from what it looks like today. A lot of the same core features. We had the critical button in the middle, but it wasn't combined with the network health, which was off to the side. Diagnostic checks there, but not any kind of order or rhyme or reason. Initial graphing has changed a lot since then. We've added in a lot more gradients since then. Our team really likes gradients. And so we launched this, we did a little bit more development on this, and in June of last year, June of 2016, we went into beta testing. And we had almost 20 people. I think by the end it was 20 people who spent a month putting as many PCAP files as they could into Visual BACnet, testing it as much as they could, calling me or me calling them, bothering them every day saying, hey, did you use it? What information did you get? And I wanted to share, this is an email that I received and it was a month of ups and downs. There was a lot of requests for changes and new things, and a lot of excitement about what we were enabling these people to do. This is one of my personal favorite emails. After some mix-ups and some challenges, the person acknowledging that it was beta because we'd had some issues, but told us that Visual BACnet should be classified as an illegal substance. We're not going down that. We don't want it to be illegal. But we realized that even during beta, people were starting to get addicted to being able to diagnose their networks. So that was very exciting for us. And it was these emails that motivated us to continue building out this crazy tool over the summer, which is what we did. And so we built it. We built it to be the Visual BACnet that we know today. We launched it a year ago, September of last year. And then we started getting all these people in the industry going, hey, we want to work with you. Hey, this is very cool. And so in January, we launched a partnership with Contemporary Controls, followed closely by a partnership with KMC, because what we'd realized is we added in MSTP diagnostic checks at the request of many of our beta customers, but capturing that data, we've solved the problem of analyzing the data. People could now use Visual BACnet instead of Wireshark. They didn't need to go through line by line. They could analyze the data. Now the problem was capturing the data. Yes, you can get it at the server level. How do we get it at each MSTP chain? How do we get it at the individual network level? And that is why we started working with Contemporary Controls and KMC. That's how those partnerships came about, because both of these companies are working really hard to build controllers, build routers, build devices that can capture on the network. And so we have integrations that can capture on individual MSTP chains, put that information into Visual BACnet, and really allows us to monitor and analyze data on a much greater scale. And so that was sort of the spring of this year. And then summer this year, we, after, again, months and months of beta testing, thank you to all of our kind people who constantly beta test with us, we launched Visual BACnet site monitoring. So this is really exciting because this took us from being a troubleshooting tool where you could analyze a problem to being more proactive, doing maintenance, seeing when something changed and being able to go in and fix it and make the changes before you had tenants calling you and complaining, or you came into work and saw that an entire network was down. And so site monitoring basically allows you to capture PCAP files on a scheduled basis. So whether that's once a day or every hour for the hour, we definitely have sites that are constantly capturing and uploading on an hourly basis. And putting that PCAP in here, Visual BACnet automatically analyzes it, and if network health changes, it sends you an email. So suddenly, this isn't a tool that you have to log into every day, because it will just tell you when something's changed. It will tell you, hey, you know that vendor who was in today? Suddenly the network health is down at 0. You might want to call them and get them back in to fix whatever happened. And so this has been really, really exciting in the development of Visual BACnet. And it's allowed a lot of our people and our customers to enhance their service contracts, with being added to a lot of service contracts, whether that's on an hourly, daily, monthly, quarterly basis, being able to provide that network health report, prove that the work that they're doing is useful and then they've done a good job, and then leave and come back in a few months and see if there's been any changes, if they need to provide further service. It also allows for those end users, whether it's universities or hospitals, to continuously commission their system. If they're making changes, every day someone comes in to make changes, they can check at the end of that day and see if it negatively impacted the site. And then, of course, real-time monitoring, like I was mentioning before. So that's really where we're at today. We have our troubleshooting option. We have our monitoring option. We have tech support teams from a lot of the biggest companies in this industry, as well as some of the smaller companies in this industry that are using Visual BACnet on a regular basis. And we have lots more plans. Is that right, Dan?
Absolutely.
I think you have lots more plans.
Yeah, we do. And a lot of this is based upon, I mean, part of this is is based upon exciting things that we've dreamed up, but a lot of this is based upon feedback that we've been getting from different people that are using Visual BACnet right now, and our customers, and the different type of use cases that they're looking for using it, and some of them are very, very, very interesting. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of a overview of where we're going with Visual BACnet.
Yes, tell us.
Yes. So as many of you know, our goal with Visual BACnet right now is to become the industry benchmark for converged BACnet systems. So BACnet devices are obviously tested by BTL, and they're certified, and they're guaranteed to work kind of as a BACnet device certified to the standard. But when you're building out a building, you're using devices that have never in the world necessarily been in the same configuration, talked to each other before. And ideally the standard kind of covers you off, but there's a lot of room for error. I mean, sometimes there's always bugs in different devices. You never get everything perfect because of the different configuration in buildings. There can be issues that pop out, and then there's a lot of human steps to configuring a system, as you all know, and because of these steps, there's room for human error in things like addressing devices and things like that. And then in the world of continuous decommissioning, these systems evolve over time. So we want to be the industry benchmark, not to certify devices, but to really kind of give you a benchmark score on a system as installed in the real world. How does it look from a network and traffic perspective? And so that's why we have this score right here. There's 3 different levels: critical, warning, and optimal. And the goal is obviously to get your system towards the optimal state by basically optimizing the communication and setup of all of the devices.
Hopefully all of you recognize the 90 more than the 36.
So 90 can be a little tough to achieve. We'll recognize that, but it also allows you to benchmark your improvements as you get the system better and better. And so the 2 main use cases for Visual BACnet right now are really commissioning and troubleshooting. So if you're setting up a site and commissioning a site for the first time, Visual BACnet can give you the confidence to walk away from the site and know that everything's working and you're not going to have to go back the next day. Troubleshooting when there's an issue is a big use case for Visual BACnet. Product support teams are kind of jumping on this tool to use that and help out the customers. And then the big thing that we're working on and improving right now is monitoring. So Monica's already talked a little bit about that. I'm going to tell you more about where that's going. So the whole goal behind monitoring is to get deeper visibility into the system and spot problems when they occur, and be notified of it before systems go offline, and ideally before any of the end user of the building notices. And in order to do better monitoring, we actually need to push deeper into the building and closer to the edge. And that's why we're kind of tackling the monitoring from multiple fronts. And our goal is to get more points of observation into the system, especially really, really large systems. So we started out just kind of capturing at the BMS, and that was the recommended approach. But and that gives you a lot of information at a system level, but it doesn't tell you if each one of your individual MSDP networks is functioning properly. And there's a lot of traffic that gets hidden because you simply don't see it, device-to-device communication or device-to-controller communication that doesn't come up to the BMS. So to tackle that problem, we're working on getting more ways of capturing at the edge. So as Monica already mentioned, we partner with Contemporary Controls. We're partnering with other device companies to build the ability to capture into the edge devices. We also have a Windows capture service, which can actually be downloaded right from within Visual BACnet today and installed on any Windows computer, installed on the BMS, and that can be set up to basically do reoccurring captures whenever you want. We also are working and we'll be deploying very soon some MSDP embedded capture devices. So these will be really, really simple to deploy, nice little web interface. You'll be able to hook them up onto an MSDP network and kind of snoop the traffic and then upload that to Visual BACnet and monitor it. And our Connect product, we're working to build the ability to capture from any port and upload to Visual BACnet right into that product as well. So so basically, what you're going to be seeing is the ability, or getting, is the ability to get kind of deeper visibility into the networks and closer to the edge, and the ability to kind of monitor whatever you care about from a traffic perspective.
In any way that you want it.
Yes. So we're quite flexible. We also have a secure cloud link, which goes up to the cloud. So everything that we do is going to be configured just using this secure cloud link. So what you do from within the tool, when you log into your Visual BACnet account, you can create a site, and from that site, you're able to download the capture tool. There's kind of two different models. One, you can do unlimited monitoring of a site. The other one, you can kind of use a credit each time you capture. So you can download this capture tool, install it on a Windows computer right within your Visual BACnet account, and then you can connect any device that you want by basically, you go to the options menu from within the site, you pull this API key down, you pop it into the device, and every single one of those devices will be able to be linked to your account in a secure fashion using this key. So we've made it really simple, and that's going to be propagated out across all of the different tools that are used for capturing.
Okay.
And then real-time monitoring. So what we're doing is we're working to make this better. So we're actively working on coming up with the right approaches to get more like towards the real-time monitoring and near real-time monitoring. So right now we're going to be coming up with a system that can kind of monitor in 5-minute intervals, but that's actually analyzing data over a much longer period of time. So within a 5-minute window, it will be able to, or within 5 minutes of a problem occurring, it'll be able to kind of analyze that, discover it, and report that to you. And we're going to be expanding the monitoring capabilities. So what you're going to be able to do is across a campus, across a site, you're going to be able to have be constantly analyzing the traffic going across your network, and when something stops working properly, this will spot it in near real time fashion.
As opposed to the, oh no, something just went wrong, let me see if I can try and fix it.
Yeah. And this is where this is based upon feedback from our customers. I mean, there's many different use cases, and it might make sense to only capture once a week or once a month, but in other cases you want to be capturing once a day, or especially if you have a network where there's a lot of different contractors working on it, or if there's like you're on a campus and there's experiments running in one area, and they're very, very expensive experiments, and you can't, and you might not want them to ever have any problems, or if there's like anything valuable that needs to be protected, right? These are types of scenarios that can be covered off by this.
Yeah, your data centers, your financial institutions.
Exactly. So we'd love to get feedback on the real-time monitoring, and if you have any kind of use cases where you'd like to, where you're thinking of using it, Monica, reach out to Monica, let her know, and then Monica can kind of relay that over to us. We're happy to get on the phone and chat through any use cases that might make sense for this.
Always happy to chat.
Yeah. The other thing we're doing is we're working on getting better commissioning. So I would have liked to actually put screenshots up to show you this, but they're not quite ready for consumption yet. But we're going to be enhancing the kind of system level view that our tool can build from a capture. So we're actually going to be able to take data from across multiple captures from a site, and basically build a view of the different devices that you have on a site. Gives you the ability to actually upload device information, like if you want to name the devices or things like that. And then we'll be providing better ways of visualizing this system once it's in place, perhaps like broken down by MSTP networks, and kind of a hierarchical view that allow you to trace through all of the devices that are on your site.
I'm really excited with that one.
So we're also, in terms of like profiling and analyzing the traffic that you might see on the site. So we are revising our BACnet browser right now. It's going to be significantly upgraded, and what it's going to allow you to do is actually to build your own dashboards to kind of analyze the traffic that you care about. And so you're going to be able to drill down in whatever fashion you choose. So you can, right now you only really had four options in order to kind of drill down and look at your traffic. And what you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to select from a much kind of wider variety of options for drilling down, such as like service choice and things like that. And you're going to be able to go in whatever order you want in order to spot like your top communicators or the services that are causing the most traffic on your network. And a lot of optimizing BACnet network, BACnet is such a chatty protocol, is really about understanding that who is communicating and who is generating the most traffic and getting them to kind of quiet down. So we're going to have an embedded like graphing and histogram in here. It's going to be much more user friendly. And the other thing you're going to be able to do is actually to save your dashboard. So if you click the save button, you'll be able to save them either for a site or for your full account, the dashboards you care about, and then they'll be nested on the left-hand side underneath the BACnet browser.
So many of the problems that I see people come to me with files, and I help them. So often you can identify the device that is having problems, but trying to figure out the device or trying to figure out why it's having problems. A lot of the time it's traffic, getting too much traffic from one device or too much broadcast on the network, and that's where these graphs come in. So I'm really excited to be able to look at them in whatever way I want, to manipulate them to find exactly the information that I need based on what the diagnostic checks have already found. I think this will be very useful for not just all of our customers, but me personally as I help you guys.
So over the next 2 months, there's going to be some great upgrades to Visual BACnet, which will be more rolled out. And then over time, these are some of the initiatives we're working on. So we're working on more monitoring options. So some of which are protocol based, and some of them are more kind of generic IT style monitoring that don't require like deep packet inspection like we're doing right now on the packets flowing through the network. But we're working to expand the monitoring capabilities that we can offer for monitoring kind of a collection of IP network devices. And like anything we do, we work to make it really easy. And we're also working over time to build up the ability to do better kind of anomaly detection for these networks of devices and for BACnet networks. And over time, we're going to be adding kind of layering under the hood some machine learning based anomaly detection, which is going to help you, which is going to help kind of spot problems a lot faster, and it's going to have some security benefits as well as more quickly kind of alert and notify to when something's going awry. And we're working on better alerting. So right now you can get email alerts in the tool, basically when the score changes. So based upon kind of a delta in the health score on the network, you can receive an email alert, and you can also receive like a digest email at the frequency you choose. We're working to get more options to trigger alerts based upon other metrics and provide them to potentially like your cell phone or tools like Slack and things like that. So we will be basically enhancing that over time.
One thing I'll add, I don't think we have a slide on this, but we're also looking at a lot more partnerships and integrations with different companies so that all of this stuff that we're building, all of this anomaly detection and monitoring will be integrated directly into the different programs, whether they're BMS systems or other analytic systems that you're already using, that we can be directly integrated into them, so you don't have to have 500 tabs open and multiple screens trying to monitor all the time. So stay tuned for those.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so the other, and then so if you're capturing from many different points in your system, what we're doing is aggregating all of that into a single interface. You can get that kind of profile across your site. So that's all that I was planning to share today, but I'm happy to take any questions.
Yeah, so for those of you watching, we have Dan here at our disposal for a few more minutes, so please, he is the mastermind behind these products and the roadmap and where we're going. So please feel free to ask any questions about the current product or what you can expect to see. I do have one question here. It's a general question, but thank you for asking it. It's from James. What is the biggest success over the last year of Visual BACnet? So Dan, I'm going to let you give your answer, and then I'm going to give my answer.
So the biggest success.
Mm-hmm.
So from a personal perspective, one of the things that I love is many days, either at lunchtime or walking to the office in the morning, we have kind of a metrics page that we bring up, and we can see who in the world is using Visual BACnet and when. And the neatest thing to me is just to see this map of the world and different people from different regions, whether it be like Asia, Europe, and South America, different people that are kind of hopping on the Visual BACnet tool, and some of the great conversations that we've had from different parts of the world, where we've been kind of able to help them out and solve their problems a lot faster. And so I'd say that to me that's kind of the most exciting thing is just being able to help and kind of solve a real problem in the industry and seeing take up from kind of around the world.
Yeah, it really makes you realize that the problems in Bangladesh and Sydney, Australia, and Hong Kong are all the same as they are here, for better or for worse. My biggest success is, or the thing that I see as most successful is partnering. So it was very exciting for us, or for me, when these big companies who are well known in the industry and have been around longer than we have, were fully on board and really excited and asking us to partner with them because we fit in with their vision and what they want to do. And that's super exciting, and we can help them get to where they want to go. So some of those we've launched, and there's more to come. But that's
and I think my answer over the next year is we have some really exciting, like large campus-style deployments coming up. That I'm personally really excited about, and I wouldn't be surprised if looking back a year from now, that'll be the highlight. Is that it's just enabling Visual BACnet on some really large kind of campus-style networks.
So James, ask us that question in a year, and we'll have that answer for you again. We have another question from Andrew. Can you see Visual BACnet performing more analytics on the network information provided to help direct field techs find the issue?
So absolutely, over time we'll be building out more checks and providing more. So part of it is about providing, like, when you do see a failure, I mean, what are the type of things that you can, what kind of process can you follow to debug the issue, and what are some suggestions? And part of it is about so we're constantly kind of adding new checks and refining checks. That's one of the beautiful things about it. Running in the cloud is we can have kind of new features in there every few weeks, which can continue to add kind of value and continue to kind of spot problems better. So we have a kind of a backlog of kind of enhancements to different checks and new checks that we're going to be introducing over time. And so absolutely we will be continuing to enhance it.
Yeah, and from our side, we're also building out some more of the help pieces of Visual BACnet. So while we might not be able to tell you right now, oh, go and find that controller and push this button and it will be fixed, we are able to guide you through, these are the 3 most common reasons that this check failed, and here's what you can do to fix it. So in the midterm, we're doing it on our side with information, and then Dan's building it into the tool longer term.
Yep, and always open to feedback in terms of what checks people are looking for, or problems that, I mean, a lot of them can be spotted in the data, right, by just kind of after we've basically analyzed, I mean, to us it's basically analyzing time series data, so that's how we view it, and there's a lot that we can find and kind of pull out of the data that can help in terms of any checks that may not be there today, but you would find useful in the future.
Well, if anyone has any more questions, feel free to ask them. Otherwise, as Dan mentioned, we are constantly developing. So for starters, thank you to everyone who has given us feedback. As he said at the beginning, almost everything in this tool was built with feedback and tons of input from customers. So thank you to everyone who's allowed us to get to where we are today. And please continue to do that. We can't do every single thing that was being asked of us all the time, but we do our very best to build whatever it is that you guys need to do your jobs better, and to spend less time on site banging your head against a wall. So please reach out to us if you have any ideas or questions, and we are always looking for beta testers of new and interesting things. So if any of the things that Dan talked to you about are of interest to you, let us know. When we get to beta testing of those, we will definitely reach out. We are always here to talk. Other than that, Dan, thank you so much for giving us your insight today.
No, thank you, Monica, and thanks everyone for joining.
Yeah. And we will see the rest of you very soon. Bye.